welcome to the Abusecartoons Livestream. Just barely. What a mess. So, Restream.io that I was using to multi-stream this to other places than YouTube, changed the way they do things. They just took their free accounts and knocked them down to almost nothing, got rid of Facebook, and did that on the 29th yesterday. So I was scrambling to figure out what to do because I've got multiple streams, and I was trying to pick an account that I could put everything under and then just switch locations, and it was a mess. So sorry, I apologize for being so late to get online. It took forever to get everything ironed out, and I was trying to do the Twitter notifications and things, and Twitter wasn't letting me log in accounts. It was such a mess. I'm supposed to be live streaming. Actually, it's going to be just a blank. It's just going to be blank in the middle. I thought I set up live streaming for, oh no, maybe I didn't, for Instagram, but it doesn't appear to be coming up. So we'll see how that goes. But Instagram, cuts everything to the little square shape. So right now, if it is live on Instagram, all you're seeing is a white square. So I don't think that's happening. And I have no idea where I would even find that. Instagram is so, just indecipherable. Is that the word? Yeah, so supposedly you can live stream to Instagram, but which, if I'm doing it to Facebook, I don't know why it shouldn't be easier. But there's something that's obviously not set up. You use this program called Yellow Duck to create an instance of the server, the RTMP server that you need, and I don't think it's working. But we'll try again. Okay. Yeah, so I was supposed to be live, but it doesn't look like it's showing up anywhere. I don't even know where I am live. If I was, I don't even know where that would be. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. But it would be on the Jeremy Lambros Instagram if it's gonna ever go there. I have no idea. Okay. But anyhow. Okay, so I guess we're doing this. Let me get a pen and let me try to do some drawing. What a mess. So yeah, everything's been really messy. And unknown girl, profile picture. Yeah, so obviously I'm not doing it because if my profile, but I'm logged into my profile, so I guess that's part of the problem. Maybe if I switch accounts, I don't even think I'm following myself. I don't even know. All right, let's see. So sorry. So I continue. The stream has started. I continue to do this nonsense. So I apologize for this sucking so hard. Oh, there you go. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a good thing to have done. Delete an Instagram. Yeah, I have no idea. So it's probably really, really hysterically bad if I am streaming right now, which I don't know if I am. But yeah, it doesn't appear to be, because I guess I am following myself. So I'll figure that out. It's not important because it's going to be horrible anyhow. So I've got a bunch of destinations now. I can send this stream up to 5 places, and I just have to decide what makes the most sense, for where people want to find this. And I don't think it's going to be Instagram. And more fun, more ridiculous trouble. I found out, and this happened back in March, and I got no sort of notification. So I'm really unhappy with Lulu Press that I've been using for like more than 10 years to publish books and things. So Lulu Press has succumb to what supply chain issues and whatever. And I think it's just because the Lightning, the print on demand service that basically everyone uses because it's Ingram. So there's a monopoly basically on print on demand because they have worldwide, they're just global, so you can't beat them. Lulu just told me that both of my books are offline, will not be printed any longer. There's still some available. Like if some was there probably is like in an Amazon warehouse somewhere or something. There are books previously done, but now the price is much higher and the quality of the paper is going down. So I need to redesign the book, at least the files for the book. I need to remake the files for the book, create a new project. So it'll have to be like a second edition or whatever of the book. So maybe I should add something, add some writing or something to it, and then put it back up. But it's going to be, worse, cheaper paper, poorer quality, and more expensive because that's what everything is. That's what's happening to everything that's print on demand right now. So that's really frustrating. So I was going in to set up the files for the anniversary book, for the 20th anniversary book. I finally got around to actually, taking a look at what my options were. If I could do like a hardback with a dust cover, dust jacket for the 20th anniversary, I was going to do that. And then when I looked at my previous projects, everything's taken offline. Everything is not available. I think only on the Lulu store or something, but they don't qualify for global distribution because they don't meet these new Lightning guidelines. So that one company, which is a giant company, it's Ingram, basically, the company that distributes. The distributor, they're kind of if you know comic books, they're the Diamond distribution, which it might even be the same company, but they're the Diamond distribution for comic books. What for bookstores, Ingram is everything. So now Lightning is their print on demand, and they're changing how they do things. They're raising the hell out of prices, and I guess they're just assuming that all these price increases in supply chain is permanent and forever because they're screwing up everything. So it's super disrupted. So Unknown Girl, good timing, good timing getting the book now, because I have no idea how many copies. I have about 30 copies here of that original print on demand version. So we'll see, and maybe someday I can do an offset print edition or something to make up for this, if I can figure out a way to promote the cartoon so that people that are reading it, can find out about it more easily. I can do because I probably only need like 500. I probably only need to order about 500 copies to get a book published. So if I could find 500 interested customers, then I could do like a Kickstarter or a Indiegogo or something. Yeah, because everyone is finding out that this raised price, lower quality of print on demand, and print on demand quality is not good. It's very mediocre. It's just very convenient, and there's no warehousing. Like I don't have to find a place to store 1,000 copies of my book and let them, rot unless I, do some temperature controlled warehouse or something. But an offset print edition might be good. And if I would have had my act together a little bit more for this 20th anniversary, maybe that would have been a good thing to do. I just don't think with Go Comics, I don't have a real good connection. Maybe I should talk to the Go Comics people and see if they'll give me some sort of access, or if I can buy some sort of banner ad or something for if I do a project like that. That might be an interesting way to do it. I just don't have great access to people that read this cartoon. Aside from my amazing chat on the live stream, that's not. It's very different from the subscribers on Go Comics. I have no idea, but that was really frustrating, really disheartening that things are so screwed up. So finally, I'm directly affected by this nonsense, whatever is going on with sanctioning Russia and pandemic response and the effect that it's had on, supply chain and production and, raw materials. Finally, I'm directly screwed by it. instead of just, like everyone else peripherally, like the price of food and everything is all screwed up. So, yeah, I got to figure out a workaround. I got to figure out a way to deal with that, because the frustrating thing with the offset print is I'm also going to have to deal with fulfillment, because I can't ship from Japan. It's just too expensive. So I can't have everything printed and sent here and then ship it from Japan. So I don't know. If I was really clever, I could figure out a way to time the printing of the books and have them shipped to, someone in the US, and then sign books in the US and then send them to the fulfillment center. I don't know. I need to figure out a way to, get things connected. I still don't think the book is going to sell enough to justify doing an offset print run, although it'd be so beautiful, to do it that way. I'd have complete control over the the paper and the ink and everything, instead of just whatever's loaded into the POD machine. Yeah, I've ordered from a couple of different sources for print on demand, and it's wildly different. Like the ones that I got from, it was either Australia or New Zealand shipped to Japan, were totally different color, totally different everything from the ones that I got from America. So there's no, it's just like it's basically a printer. It's a sophisticated, probably laser printer or something. So it's not, they're not all going to be calibrated identically across the whole international network. So just however they get set up, and they're often trimmed differently and everything. Yeah, it's very odd. So you can't put them together in a stack. Like you couldn't interchangeably put a bunch of print on demand in a stack of books, because people would just be like, are these different? Because the color is not quite, this is more blue, this is more red, this is cut differently. Yeah, it's not great. Oh, I was thinking about watermelon jokes, because of the candy. I don't know if I can pull it off, because I think to have it read as seeds, the eyes are going to have to be bigger. So I was going to do a joke where the eyes and the seeds of the watermelon are kind of, intermingled. So let's see if I can pull this off with, oh yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe it'll read okay. So let's try. And then just do the color later. There we go. And then go in and put the actual eyes. Come on. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, we'll do something like that for one of them, because I'm doing the watermelon candy. They're really strange, these watermelon candies. I haven't even opened it up yet, but just the description on the package for the texture. So I think they're trying to texture it like watermelon, but it's so it might have some. I think it's like a cookie. It seems like it might be a cookie. I don't know. We'll see once I get them open. But I have a watermelon candy that's simulating watermelon with little chocolate chips in it. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Yeah, so Restream is totally screwed up. They offered everyone that they were screwing over with this deal, or with this change, they offered a pretty good deal. So I've got a year of it for less than $5 a month, and we'll see if I use it, and how angry I am about it, because I live stream at least twice a week, so I have to take the two streams and combine them into the same account. Yeah, hopefully it was better. Yeah, last week's was toxic. Well, this is Fujiya. It's a Japanese company, and then it's Fujiya, which usually does pretty good candies and stuff. So just the fact that they're trying to simulate watermelon might be the downfall, and the fact that they call it chocolate chips. Hopefully it's not chocolate flavor, but they call it chocolate chips that are it's not really seeds, but it's like eyes, nose, and a mouth or something. So it looks like a little face on the watermelon. And they call them chocolate chips on the package, and if they're chocolate, then the flavor is going to be weird. So, and maybe they're not going for watermelon flavor; they're going for just some look. We will find out. So stay tuned. Coming up later in the show. Okay, so we'll just have a glass of water and watermelon. This probably should be like lemonade or something, shouldn't it? To be a little better. All right. Yeah, maybe I'll just make it a glass of lemonade. The color-wise, that might look a little bit better too. More variety. All right. Oh, I'm drawing it on the same layer. That's why. Things are running a little slow. I don't know what I have open. I was running, watching a bunch of HBO Max. I still haven't watched the second episode of House of the Dragon. But I was watching a bunch of, the James Gunn. Come on. What's going on here? Yeah, I'm getting a really, really big lag here. All right, there we go. Can we paste it back? There we go. Oof, yeah, weird lag. The James Gunn Peacemaker. Yeah, the wrestler that was in. Was he in both of the? Yeah, maybe both of the Guardians movies. But that show's really funny. It's really well done, and really violent and crude and everything. So it's great. More TV should be that like simply satisfying. I can't believe it's so hard to do that. And it seems fairly agendaless and everything. Okay, let's bust these up because it's just funny. It's a very diverse cast, but nobody references their race or sexuality or anything. And there's a lot of variation of types of people, and they never that's never brought up. So that's nice. That's how it eventually should be. I hope. Come on. I don't know what's going on here. Very slow. Yes. So hope you're doing well. Sorry about this. Yeah, weird timing. I think I missed all of North America because it took me so long to get online. I had to. Okay, what the fuck? What was that? I was just trying to go here, and it went crazy. I guess that's why it took so long. But yeah. So it was. I almost considered just delaying until tomorrow, but I'm not sure how well tomorrow's going to work for streaming. So do it today. But yeah. So apologies for everyone that is watching this on video on demand and usually watches it live. I wanted to having a more normal time for this stream, but I think I've got a lot of the bugs, or a lot of it now worked out. It's just going to be every time I stream, I'm gonna have to switch over the whole account from the cartoon one to the hobby one. So there's going to be a lot of entry, like data entry and text and stuff. So I'm just gonna have to copy and paste between documents. So it's going to take a little bit longer to get going every week, but at least I can benefit from having the full 5 locations, and I can do the RTMP servers, so I should be able to go to different locations that I wouldn't have been able to do before, like I was trying to do with Instagram. Yeah, I wonder why it didn't. Or maybe I didn't use the software right, because it was the first time I ever used the yellow duck. So maybe I needed to start the broadcast, then copy the key. I can't tell if it's the order of stuff. Yeah, we'll see. But it doesn't work anyhow because I don't have anything. As you can see from this, if you just cut off the edges, it's just a perfectly white. It's me talking to a perfectly white background. Yeah, so we'll see. Huh. Crazy. But I'll get it figured out. Yeah, because I haven't even. I'm supposedly streaming to Twitter as well, but I would have no idea what that means because it doesn't show up anywhere. Yeah, it's very strange. I don't know what they give you these options, and then you have no idea what. I could be going off into some dark hole of the internet. Yeah, very strange. Oh yeah, there's. Oh, that's just an uploaded video. So stupid. Yeah, amazing. The Twitch community retweeted my tweet. Oh, because I had a Twitch link in it. Anyhow, I have no idea what's going on. Okay, there we go. So let's just continue to draw. I'm so getting, worse and worse at the technical aspect of this. In like 20 years, it's going to be really hard to function, to even know what is, how people are consuming anything, what's even going on. To find some young kid to help me out getting online. I'm sure Photoshop by then is even going to be my enemy. But yeah, I was watching a bunch of old HBO Max. Also has a lot of old 80s kind of classic 80s trash. So I was watching the original Clash of the Titans, the one with the Ray Harryhausen stop motion stuff from the like 85 or something, with Burgess Meredith and all that good stuff. But yeah, so we'll see. Okay. Yeah. I barely function on social media now because even though I have Twitter accounts, I'm not barely active. They're just like notification depositories for other stuff that I'm doing. I don't interact and fight over nonsense on there, which seems to be the sum total of some people's existence. Wake up in the morning and see what I'm supposed to get angry about on Twitter. Yikes. I was in the middle of watching a Ted Kaczynski documentary thing, and it was so funny because for some reason it's obviously they're listening to this live stream too much or whatever, but I kept getting the audiobook for Ted Kaczynski's The Unabomber, for his manifesto would come up on my YouTube. So I'd wake up, just have YouTube on autoplay and like listen to audiobooks or documentaries or whatever, and fall asleep and wake up to the Ted Kaczynski Unabomber manifesto being read. So it was a default for a long time. Oh, on your Instagram, isn't in your description, it is Abusecartoons on there also. Oh, on my Instagram, yeah, it's, I think I was promoting mostly where Instagram, right. I was promoting mostly the Citizen. Am I not logged in? Citizen Spaceman was the main thing that I was promoting. Yeah, it's just the Citizen Spaceman URL. I should fix that. And I love, because of my IP address, that it defaults to Japanese. It's oh, you're in Japan, so let's flip everything. Yeah, there's no easy. Oh, there it is. At the bottom, the pull down. and you can't get to the bottom. Yeah, if I posted more, it would be impossible to get to the bottom. Yeah, I should edit the profile as well. I'm doing all this wonderful stuff. Oh yeah, you only get one website. Jesus. Yeah. Lovely. Well, I'm not doing anything with Citizen Spaceman, so I guess I can put Abusecartoons in there. Yeah. Oh, fuck off. Oh, that's what that is. Yeah, I hate that. Both Instagram and Twitch give you notifications like people that you know that are like you follow this person, so do that. Okay. I really hate that stuff. Part of their social engineering initiative. Yeah. I have no idea. Yeah, I gotta figure out where to post. Just post these cartoons more and find out where that would be. Where did that come from? Alright. Yeah, I wonder if I should just put a link to the Go Comics. That's weird. Instagram only gives you one URL. Of course, why would I be surprised? Drag photos. Yeah, and also, obviously, they don't want you to use, because they're making it possible to, post things directly from the desktop. They either want you to go into that back end of Meta or use a third-party thing like later.com or whatever to do posts not from your phone. I really hate that. Yeah. Weird. Yeah, I hate that. I think that's the thing now, though. But that stream, that flowing river of stimulating images that all of the social media has become is really terrible. Because if you find anything interesting, I guess there's some ways you can save it to reference later. But it's really hard to do much other interacting with it, just liking and commenting on it. But yeah, it's very weird. It makes everything so disposable and useless. And now with AI-based illustration, it's getting weird. I know some companies are going to have real bad ideas about what to do with the AI that's painting digital pictures because it's going to save them a ton of money. No matter how much they charge for commercial licenses for that AI, it's going to be so much cheaper and so much less man hours dealing with artists that it's going to probably wipe out a whole low level illustrators for book covers and things are just going to be gone, because once they can get it not only to generate kind of painted looking images but just do basic graphic design, just put in graphic design rules in your AI and you have just fucked a lot of people and also driven the price down. So it's going to cost a certain basement level price to do that, to use AI based design. And so then anybody that's going to employ a human being, their price is going to be just above, what it would cost, or just below. I'm cheaper than a robot. I work for less than AI does. Yeah, I guess, it probably would be. You'd have to price yourself under a button that's clicked. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So then you just have to do 10 times the work to make a living. Lovely. Yeah, so we'll see. See if I can get this sorted out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Instagram is so frustrating, and I can't believe it's like now, when one of the more popular platforms, it doesn't work well at all. But it's less vicious than Twitter, so maybe that's why it's getting people, especially younger people, there. They just don't like the cesspool of Twitter. All right. Okay, I have no second idea. Hey, Quartz Creations, how's it going? It was at that moment. Nice. That sounds like you've written these before. uh, yes, yeah. I think you nailed the tone of these of this cartoon. Uh, yeah. So, oh, well, how's it going over there on Twitch? Do I have Twitch brought up? Oh yeah, there we go. Nice. Yeah, I can't. I'm not even. I was just worried I wasn't going to be streaming to the right places, and I know I'm going to make that mistake. Like if I'm in a rush to set things up, I'm going to be not clicking on the right, turning on the right accounts, and I'm going to half stream to the wrong accounts. And now I guess I can specifically stream to Facebook pages, not just like a main account, but a Facebook page, so that might work better. Uh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Twitter is I mean, it's really useful. I've seen, especially in Japan, I've seen people generate a following for their cartoons or jewelry or whatever on like Instagram and Twitter, and then go to actual shows and get a booth at a show and sell out. Like you just, in just a few hours, you get people like literally running into the show early morning and just buying out everything. So it is a good way if you can. Just kind of cultivate a fan base. It's a really good way to make a very rabid fan base. And in a country like Japan, people have more access to you. It's, people traveling, it's much further to travel in the U.S., so you have to do things regionally, or, I would imagine Europe is the same way. You have to, do things a little bit more regionally. But in a country like Japan, it works really well to communicate with a fan base, but you probably have to, you know, uh, kick a lot of people, out of threads and stuff that are, just causing trouble. I have no idea how vicious Japanese Twitter can get. I know there's a lot of, super nationalist, racist content in Japan. A lot of, former emperor worship and stuff. Cults still exist in Japan. So I think there's a lot of like weird young guys that are very militant online, but it's just mostly it's just an act. It's just their character, their character online. They don't follow through with much. Yeah, yeah, and haven't they've kind of stopped. The news doesn't follow up much on certain stories. Very unlike the U.S., and I think because cable news needs to fill stuff. If a politician would have been assassinated in the U.S., we would have had endless documentaries, endless interviews for months afterwards about who is he, and talk to the classmates and talk to the teachers, and all of this, crazy focus to make them a, celebrity. And the assassin, Abe, Shinzo Abe's assassin, we haven't heard anything about. They just wanted a motive, and it turns out that his mother's connection with that religious, the kind of like religious cult, the Moonies, I guess they were called in the '60s, the Unification Church. His mother destroying their family finances by donating to that church was his reason, because politicians, and I've talked about this before, like right after it happened, but politicians have a weird connection to that Unification Church because they offer them free labor for knocking on doors and handing out flyers and stuff, and they use that a lot. So they have a connection to that organization, but just basically using the manpower, and it's very unclear, like ideologically or financially, how much they're connected. But they do offer their members as manpower for campaigning. So yeah, but we haven't heard anything after that. We haven't heard anything about him, so he just kind of disappeared. So what was the point of all of that? But yeah, that difference is interesting. Oh yeah, so like extremists. Yeah, I was talking about extremists in Japan and stuff. So they don't follow up unless somebody does something very horrific. You don't have any information, or you don't even know who the players are in certain bizarre groups unless you're working for the police. Nice. Yeah, right. That's what we need is Google Translation AR glasses for. Although it would have to be quite an algorithm or quite an AI to read Japanese Twitter. There's so much like funny, because they use text visually a lot of the times too. Like you've probably that uwu, what is it, uwu. There's a lot of like emoji kind of like old ASCII art style representation of and laughing is just W's and things. Yeah, so it's very, very crazy. Nice. Quartz creation was Japanese. So desu. Very nice. Your hiragana is beautiful. Yeah, I'm living in Japan, on the western side, like closer to Osaka. Yeah, so that's why, yeah, talking about so that kind of news cycle and everything is very, very different, and the focus on extremists is different, but they're being used very strangely now in the U.S. too as boogeymen. They wanted to shift away from Middle Eastern terrorists to white domestic terrorism in America. Wonderful. And it's funny. It's really funny talking to relatives and family members how you just get, if you're in that bubble, you just get indoctrinated with that, and you just like regurgitate, things that are said. If it's repeated enough by enough different sources, just like that must be true. And it's very, very strange. Yeah, so very odd. All right, I'm obviously not not having a lot of ideas for this second cartoon. Nice. Quartz Cage said, yeah, I love Twitter. I complain and people like it. Yeah, that's true. It's just like a whinge. They should have, if it was created in England, it would just be called Whinger. Or they could have named it just bitching about stuff in the U.S. Yeah. But the dog piles and stuff on Twitter is really crazy because groups, similar minded groups get alerted to things, and they just called this guy this. Oh, here we go. Let's go. Everybody pile into the thread. Just saying. And you get all that smart ass. The tone of Twitter is the like you have to master that. It's a weird, probably like the closest thing to that we've had for like a city speak, like in Blade Runner, how there was the pastiche of languages that just became city speak. So it was like a pidgin version of a bunch of languages all spoken together. The tone of Twitter is a weird pastiche of certain types of ways to just insult and condescend, and it has obvious sources. I'm not going to name those sources, but there are obvious sources of the tone of tweets, and some people master that and do very well. Uh, up. Oh shoot! Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, that's interesting. I've never had that before, where I've actually deleted something in a clipboard. You know, in that when you Control V or I've never had that had that disappear before. Nice. I guess stuff. Yeah. Oh, nice. You're on TikTok as well. Chords. I mean, it's a really good way to reach an audience, though, and generate popularity for things. It's just I feel like I've aged out of so much of that. So it's kind of like the old guy at the party or the old guy at the club. It's just like you can't, unless you work really hard at it, you can't fake it. You can't fake your generation and your knowledge. So people would smell a rat pretty fast if I tried to do much interaction in social media, and especially when you're, I think there's a lot of people that sniff out just like self-promotion and in that real like naked marketing, self-marketing way. I think people sniff that up pretty fast and just completely call you out and blacklist you when you not in the platform itself, but just in groups and stuff. People will know what you're trying to do, and that's all I'd really want to do is promote work. I don't want to argue. I don't want to win. I love people talking about winning on social media. I totally won that. And then I totally won. Everybody clapped. Yeah. That's an interesting... that's just an interesting thing that's come out of the internet, is just the social interaction. Yeah, I remember like early 90s when it was just still dial up and bulletin boards and stuff. Talking to a instructor at school about predicting, because he was very technology. A lot of his work was technology based. He was using like Flash, I think, like doing Flash interactive pieces that you could, like with a touch screen, you could like interact with in galleries. So cutting edge of oh my god, that stuff cannot have aged well. Asking, we were talking about, and I had such a ridiculous optimistic view, like social media is going to be such an interesting way for people to experience, to open up people to experiencing new cultures and have access to information and just influence that they never would have had before, and only thinking of it in a positive way, like in a very naive, positive way. And he immediately said, well, actually what they're saying is it's going to make us tribal. And and this was, before this even happened, that a lot of people are talking about, it's just going to create this crazy toxic tribalism, and people are going to be, retreat from interaction because of the horrible experiences they have with such a giant way to interact with the whole world, finding out how kind of where your thinking and where your culture or whatever stands in this like kind of world view, and how angry and toxic people are, and also defending. It's just like tribalism just means they're defending their group by attacking you and identifying with their group more than something from the outside. And that's exactly what happened. And I so naively was like, oh, it'll be a great opportunity. It's maybe academically the only the internet should have stayed in academia and just switched, just traded ideas and research. Nice. Really? I think I put stuff on TikTok. I guess that's true. There are a lot of like crazy old white people yelling into their phones on TikTok. Yeah, Flash was never. Well, as soon as Apple, I guess it wasn't. This was the precursor of Flash. It was a Director, like Macromedia Director or whatever. But that first one that had the really, I think it carried over to Flash a little bit, but had a real robust scripting language, so you can do a lot of interactive kind of work. And so that's, I think it was Director. and which just became the kind of vector-based animation thing, Flash, which I think was already in there. But yeah, as soon as Apple, voted against Flash because of its really unstable, kind of memory hungry, I think security wise it sucked, and also resource wise it just hogged memory, and early iPhones and iPads had such a low level of actual system memory that it just crashed those devices all the time. And those devices, when they're crashed, are really hard to recover. The interaction of like holding down buttons and waiting for things to reset, and like safe modes and stuff are hard to access compared to other types of systems. So yeah, just Apple said no Flash, and then it just killed it, because Flash had a little bit of a golden age there. I did a bunch of Flash animation for Fox Interactive. They bought up a bunch of little studios in LA and named it Fox Interactive, and I was in on that for a while. Yeah, and it was just about getting to the point where we were going to start using like Fox properties. And then they bought MySpace and said, why are we developing original content when MySpace, when social media is just content, is free content generated by people? And they just totally killed the whole studio. That was weird. And didn't even tell us. It just kind of like sprung it on us, and then made us sign NDAs and non-competes, and if we wanted severance, we had to agree not to sue them for just destroying the studio instantly without any real justification. Like there wasn't restructuring or anything. They're just like, yeah, we don't want to pay any money to make content anymore. Nice. Yeah. The Portal Flash game. Yeah, there was some pretty great projects done in Flash, and like Homestar Runner and stuff. Yeah, there was some really great series. Flash animation had gotten, right before it died, and right before Apple abandoned that technology, it was getting it looked pretty good, and it definitely had a style. Like there was a look of it, a thick kind of heavy minimally animated look. But there was some really entertaining content. And also, I don't know when that was, but also YouTube just said, fuck animation. And they really killed the visibility and everything of animation uploaded to YouTube. So YouTube could have done like an animation channel or an animation platform and really cultivated a lot of great work. And something happened. I'm not sure if it was like a move to differentiate themselves or to stop competition or to hurt somebody else or whatever, but they just bailed on letting animation benefit in the algorithm at all. And because animation is so time intensive, people just stopped doing it because you couldn't make any money, you couldn't get any advertising or anything for it. It's crazy. I don't know what any of this is. Flash. Yeah, it's really crazy. The winners and losers of a lot of technology don't make any sense. There's a lot going on in the background. It was really funny when on Monday I was at the university, and they had turned off the central air and doing some maintenance or cleaning or something, like changing filters or whatever. So they brought in these portable units for the laboratory and the offices to use. Those I've seen those. They're the same ones that they use both in the U.S. and Japan. Has the same ones. It's a giant box, like a big filing cabinet sized box on wheels, and it's got a big those flexible hoses that are like the big diameter, like a 8-inch or whatever diameter flexible plastic hose one coming at the top that blows the cold air in, and another that's an intake that's like lower on the side of the machine. And you're supposed to, I think, hook a hose up to it to drain the condensation. But they also have a small tank in there that will catch the condensation. You just need to empty it. But they don't shut off when the tank is full. They're super simple machines, and I think to be used temporarily. I've seen people even use them in like outdoor cafe situations that are, you know, like a little more tent-like, where you can kind of cool down the situation. But I've also seen them have nothing but problems with that amount of water that they generate. And the same thing happened at the school. I was talking with the professor in his office, and the students were slipping and falling down in the hallway. And then they ran in and said, "There's water everywhere. There's water everywhere." And it was a little tiny plastic tank that filled full of water, and then it just overflowed. There was no sensor, no signal, nothing to tell you that it was full. So I don't think it's supposed to be used other than a kind of fallback or some kind of emergency or testing or whatever. It's not big enough to run, because we it was probably only on for an hour or two, and it generated that much water. And so it flooded the hallway, and the students were traumatized by all this water. And but I remember I was working with working on a comics project. I'm working at the home studio of someone. So he had kind of like a double wide kind of not double wide, single wide kind of construction trailer behind his house that was the studio. Well, the computers and everything were set up, and but it didn't have any central air. So they moved in one of those portable air conditioning units, and it generates so much water. And they had a hose on it this time that was going into a large bucket, kind of like I think it wasn't like a like one of those 5-gallon construction, like a spackle bucket or whatever. It may be more like a plastic trash can, like not a trash can, wastebasket, a smaller, not very stable wastebasket, maybe something that wasn't supposed to be full of water. And it was very narrow in the studio, and so so many times the bucket gets kind of full, and people are walking back and forth in this little narrow studio, and someone kicks the bucket over, the wastebasket full of water over, and it's carpeted. The studio was carpeted with a kind of like an indoor-outdoor carpet, but it had a pad and stuff on it. So gradually throughout the heat of the summer, because the air conditioning wasn't on when nobody was in there, and it would just fester. So the studio itself smelled so moldy, and just like, well, why does it smell so terrible in here? And we've got to do something about it. But we just can't spill this bucket of water onto the carpeting anymore, and that will probably help this horrible smell. And it just kept happening, like at least every other day it got kicked over, flooded the carpet, soaked into the padding and everything, and just mold and mold and mold. And it was disgusting. It was a disgusting smell. But that's so funny. It's just one of those things that just don't kick this over. Okay, don't kick over that, and boom, there it goes. Because you're rushing around trying to get stuff done, and without enough space to walk, someone is gonna kick over a bucket of water onto carpet. Yeah, but it was just like it smelled like a dockside on a disgusting festering river or whatever. The wetness was brutal, but always people just keep kicking it over. But yeah, I haven't seen one of those in a while, or had to deal with one of those in a while. And that was the thing I remembered the most, is that one situation where it's like, just don't kick this over. They should have just because you're running AC, and they should have just run it out of a window, just dripped it out of a window, or run it along the ground out the door or something, because it was out in the backyard. Yeah, don't bother trying to collect it in a wastebasket. Just get a longer hose. Yeah. So that's ridiculous. Yeah, those things are odd. They're very obviously for just weird temporary use, and it doesn't seem like there's a good way to ever set those up. Every time I've had to deal with them, it's been a disaster. It's funny though, that's the exact same design in both Japan and the US. Usually the Japanese design is so much different and also so much smaller. Like they, because of the, size restrictions of rooms and offices and everything, they do make everything much more compact. But these weren't at all. They were the exact same design. All right. Yes. Talking about air conditioners, these are looking kind of like weird. I don't want to do one of those like, what is it drawings. Oh, nice. Well, yeah, sorry about the incredibly late start. Anyone in North America is definitely asleep. If they're working tomorrow, there's no way they're going to be up. But yeah, sorry, it just took me forever to get this working. I just didn't want to screw up my accounts and like mingle everything into just a big mess. Let's see here. Yeah, that's the frustrating thing, is I just work on too many different projects that don't have any common and anything in common. I would like to just put everything on one channel. Comics and cartoons and hobby stuff and everything. But yeah, especially YouTube. YouTube hates that. Any variety of content. People want you to be such a one-trick pony and, really produce the same thing over and over again with the same fucking thumbnail and everything. And that, like, dominates the algorithm. And set up different channels. If you want to do something different, set up a different channel for it. And that's just, yeah, it's a lot to maintain. I guess it's because this is an advertising-based thing as well, so they're going to make the algorithm serve something they can, predictably sell and assess for advertising purposes. All right. It's supposed to look like a slit open envelope, but it looks kind of strange. Oh yeah, I haven't done just a paper receipt or anything. Self-checkout is getting, I'm sure it's even worse in other countries, but it's getting pretty out of control in Japan, and they haven't standardized it yet. So there's all of these competing systems. So different shops will have different systems, and it makes it torture for older people. And there's like, Japanese people are much more mobile and kind of mentally together much later in life. So you commonly have 80, 90-year-old people like going around and doing their shopping and stuff. And when they're confronted with those self-checkout things, it's just a mess. And it's the funny thing is, Japan is so proud of its kind of service. It's the service component of retail, like, always shops, department stores and stuff have attendants and stuff, and you get a lot of customer service and a lot of nice interaction, and that helps prop up the kind of consumer spending of Japan because it's such a pleasant experience. And now that they're starting to switch over, and it's mostly in the dollar stores, and the shittier lower end of retail is doing this the most, of course. But it's really, I just keep seeing old people completely struggling with self-checkout stuff. And because they, just like everything else, the UI and the way that the programs are set up just set up by, the decisions are made by marketing assholes and arrogant, UI software, or like a UI UX designer people that have no fucking idea how reality, what's reality and how actual people interact with things. They've got this like stupid fucked up world that they live in, and they think that's how people, interact in the real world. And so it does all of this, it's always doing this stuff where it's trying to get you to, download an app and it's trying to get you to sign up for a points account, like a card, like a shopping kind of points card or whatever. But you can also have that card in the app on your phone, and you're just trying to purchase something, and it goes through all of these steps as promoting all this stuff, like like cashiers used to do. It's like, oh, would you like to sign up for a whatever credit card or whatever. That same sort of thing that it would force human cashiers to do, it's having the self checkout do. So the process is not simple at all. They're promoting and pushing so much stuff, and I think the elderly make it like 2 steps into that and they go, I don't have a smartphone. Why are you doing this to me? And because it tries to visually, Japan does a lot of visual representation of stuff. So it shows a smartphone with like a QR code on it, and it's like asking you, so use this now. This would be the time to use this or your card now. And people are just like, I don't know, and they're just lost, and it takes forever for a human to show up and help them. But yeah, it's gonna be brutal. It's really gonna be brutal. I'm like terrified of my old age, especially here. Unknown girl say, first using them was confusing. The amount of times I had to wait for an attendant because something went wrong. Yeah. It's the systems are so flawed. It's like they didn't test these at all. Like they didn't like release them in one store and stress test them and find out exactly where the bugs were and where people were running into problems. And also because like inventory of retail and stuff is so damaged and so just torn up and thrown on the floor and everything. So stuff is missing tags all the time. Price tag stickers are off or unreadable. So it's like you can't have a self-checkout system with that kind of poor inventory or I guess stock control, whatever, things on the shelves. People are just messing with them so much that you can't reliably know that everything that the system needs is going to be intact for you to scan or for whatever. Yeah, way too many kind of choke points in that system, where things just get stuck. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's funny too. When I use them in Japan, everything is built for much shorter people. So I'm looking on the machine somewhere to do something, and it's literally like at my knees, like where I need to be interacting with the machine is like literally down at my knees. Like, oh, okay. I bend over and like jam money into the blinking slot that's like almost feels like it's floor level for me. But yeah, they definitely built them for the older generation. Like they took the average maybe Japanese height, which is much shorter. And the machines are really silly. How low a lot of the things go. All right, that could kind of be, I don't know, paper something. Paper jokes. Yeah, but it doesn't like completely defeat the purpose if the system has that many flaws and you actually need human attendance. And there's always like replacing receipt paper and stuff. There's always going to be that. So it's really ridiculous. Although I guess a lot of the newer systems are trying to send you an email receipt and stuff. They're really trying to take the analog out of it. And I saw an article, I think it was about Walmart's self-checkout. I think everything is like an RFID chip or whatever, or the tags. So the instant you put stuff anywhere near that checkout, it knows everything that's there. It like senses everything that's there. So when you steal stuff, they have a record of what you stole and what you paid for, basically. And people are like, so the funny thing is, though, it seems like they will tolerate a level of theft as long as it doesn't exceed what it costs to employ all those cashiers and the people, pay for all their health benefits and their hourlies and everything, their hourly wages. So if it's less than that, they're just going to let you steal, up to that amount. But eventually, you're going to walk into a Walmart and they're going to say, yeah, we don't let you buy things here anymore because you abuse the self checkout so much, and it's probably not worth. Like as you see, a lot of that retail theft in America, it's not even worth. If it's under a certain amount, they don't even bother, making it criminal. But if they have you connected, like a debit card or a credit card, they have you connected to your purchases, and they've got you on camera. They know who you are, and so they can easily just say, transaction refused. Just block your payment methods, and you can't buy anything there unless you go to an actual cashier. And that would be so embarrassing too if they did something to had a little alarm go off or whatever on a self checkout and it said, sorry, you're not allowed to use, you specifically are not allowed to use self checkout. Please go to an actual employee. That would be wonderfully mortifying. I'm sure someone's designing that right now. Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because it makes it easier to steal, but it's probably, they're saving so much money. Once they have all those self-checkout machines installed and they've paid for themselves, they save so much money from actual employees and the man hours to do the HR and scheduling and everything for all of those people. The cost savings is probably so huge that they're like, yeah, whatever, you can take that case of Sprite with you for free. We don't care. They always said that about retail loss prevention and stuff. It's not the people that steal everything that you need to be careful of, because a professional thief can only steal so much, but in a inconspicuous way. But it's the normal people that just pocket stuff and just walk away with stuff. Like, most of the time they pay, but sometimes they'll just steal stuff. That's where like all the majority of loss comes from, because they don't see themselves as, prices are kind of expensive here. I'll just take, I won't pay for that. I'll just pocket this. Or it's such a big company, I'm not hurting anyone. They've got, plenty of money and whatever, and the insurance, loss insurance, I'm sure. So very interesting, those weird dynamics. And it's just going to get weirder and weirder. We're going to see how things actually are as they keep changing the technologies. Yeah. They do that with some of the bulk, like the warehouse stores like Costco and stuff in the U.S., where you go to a register, and I don't know if they have self-checkout there, but then, you have to confirm, because so many people put big items underneath the cart. They don't put them on the belts to check out, and then by the time you start putting items back in, you're kind of concealing what you have underneath the shopping cart. So a lot of people are trying to go out with cases of water or alcohol or whatever, something kind of expensive. So that's what they're always, they check the receipt at the door. Yeah, right. Yeah, because I think they're only looking for a few like big ticket items. Like if you don't have like a case of beer or like a box of wine or something stashed in your cart, they're probably not going to care, because the actual loss is not that much. Yeah, but you're still employing people, which is kind of not the point of all that automation anyhow. Yeah, it's weird. So at what point do you put the actual humans in the payment process? There's so many stores in Japan, mostly like ramen shops and things, but it's becoming more and more common. I even thought about it when I was doing the gallery in Osaka. I even thought about doing this too. It's a ticket machine, so it's a big vending machine, and you choose what you want, and you put your money into the machine, and it gives you a ticket, and then you bring that into the shop, and you get your ramen or whatever, your lunch or whatever. But it's also becoming a way to buy different items. The items are in the store. The cashier and the employees are not interacting with cash at all. You just give them a ticket showing that you put that money in the machine, and then they give you the item. So that's becoming more and more common for a lot of, that model is extending into different things. And I was trying to figure out how to use that, because I thought that'd be pretty cool for an art gallery too, because we weren't selling original art, or a little bit, but mostly not original art. It was a limited edition copies and stuff. And so that would be fun to have it like almost like an automat of art or whatever, you know, where you just get a ticket and then you you go exchange the ticket for the piece you wanted to buy. Although I think in that case I couldn't put, like, the machine most of the time is outside the shop. I think for the gallery situation, I have to put it inside and basically have it like a giant, like the whole gallery is a vending machine, and all the art has an identification number that you pay for at a vending machine. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, self-checkout is in the middle. That makes more sense too. And also that means they get you on camera longer and everything, so they have some more proof of what you did and didn't pay for, and your face and everything. All right. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna get a second idea. Wow, last week went so quickly. I just had a couple of like simple thoughts, and boom, it went. All right. Oh, maybe a cash register. Roll, but do the roll more this way. To get it the shape right so it makes sense visually. Yeah, I think I didn't get round enough. That looks right. Like down to there. This is still off. But yeah, it roll. So having it roll out like this. I guess as long as I'm getting the basic idea across. All right. Yeah, let's just do something simple like that. So, boom, oops, down here, boom, there we go. And let's turn everything else back on. Okay. And maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I don't think that. It's not a good drawing. It's almost like it's crawled over like a snake. I love the lower you get in the roll, like the tighter it's been rolled, so the receipt is more like super curly. Yeah, I think I just want to redraw it. Okay, let's try one more. I didn't resize these yet. So I want it to match more the what's going on here. So yeah, just a big fat brand new roll of like receipt paper. Yeah, there we go. That works better. This other one is I'm drawing on the same layer. Super wonky. Yeah, something like that. That looks more funny and fat. A little bit better with the perspective. Okay, so it's the paper that's fucking things up, I think. It's this. Ay. Yeah, oh, so maybe, yeah, give it a little bit of a curve too, so it isn't sitting totally flat. That might help. Okay, something like that. So we'll do the end. This will be a cartoon that everyone that's run a cash register will really enjoy. Oh, yeah, like a crinkled up receipt. Yeah, what? Yeah, because I was just trying to do like the end of life and beginning of life. Because I was going to do the pink stripe, the end of the receipt. How it starts to warn you it's getting low as the paper comes out. It's got that pink stripe on it. And so as kind of a running joke, almost every time I draw a receipt in this cartoon, it has the pink stripe on it. So it means like every receipt is almost the last one to come out of the machine. Yeah, is there something else that like receipt wise? Yeah, something about that. Yeah, beginning and the end. I was just gonna start all over again. Yeah, I can't believe, I don't know if it's still the case because of all this like, eco movement that's going on now, but I can't believe how crazy, let's just start coloring these. Crazy the receipt stuff got at like drugstores and things. Like the CVS is like a chain in the US, and they were doing like this weird scammy thing with their receipts where their receipts were like almost half a meter long. They had all of these offers and things on them, and then they started doing these weird club card things where the prices were crazy different between if you had a club card and they were like monitoring your purchases, and if you didn't, the price was really, really different. And so they really wanted to force you to do that. And then if you did that, let me do, I love that green is almost perfect. The price is really, really different, and the stay away from the seeds and the eyes. And there's so many offers and things, so you're kind of like, they're because of the price difference, and then having to take all of those coupons and offers on the receipt itself. I just, for some reason, some genius had the idea, this is the point of interaction with customers, so let's put everything we can on the receipt. And so the information about what you bought is like in the middle of this like whole like banner ads basically for all of this nonsense. I don't know if they can get away with still doing that, but that was weird. So you literally buy like a pack of gum or something, and you've got a receipt that longer than your arm. They must have gone through an insane amount of paper. All right, what's a nice little bright lemonade-y color? A little warmer than that. All right, and the lighter. Yeah. Come on, I can do this. I really... Oh, actually, I just can fill it, can't I? Yeah, there we go. And then just bring it down a little bit. Oh, it's too light, isn't it? It's kind of disappearing. A little bit darker. One more step. Okay, there we go. Now it doesn't disappear into white. I'm having trouble. I don't want to put the microphone too far away. This microphone doesn't do well if I'm too far away from it, but it's blocking so much. I don't have a good angle for it. I wanted to get it kind of off camera low or kind of high, but I can't keep it close enough to my face. So you just have this microphone leaping out of the green screen. So anybody have any ideas how I can fix that? Let me know. Or like what a better position would be. The hell? All right, there we go. And then, yeah, I'll do little shadows on everything but the eyes. So we know that these are supposed to be the seeds. All right. Something like that. And then go to just pure white. Oops. And some shininess. Just a few so it doesn't look too crazy. All right. Do I need to put more texture in that watermelon or whatever? Oh, there you go, Unknown Girl. Yeah. It's probably the cost of all that receipt paper was offset by all the ads and stuff. Yeah, because that's what it was. Is all of the they were just using it as an advertising space. That's insane. Yeah, that's totally what it was. Yeah, it's funny how some things will just get choked like that once somebody thinks it's an advertising or comes up with an advertising model. Things get choked. So is there something else to make it more... Should I do another color of watermelon to do... Because, you know, watermelon has that kind of more... that texture that... No, I don't want to... Oops. Yeah, just something that makes it a little lusher looking. And yeah, maybe just a few dots for texture. Watermelon dot texture. Whoa, what happened there? Yeah, I'm not going to get crazy with it. But it's so hard to look at. Where are his eyes? Got to get more frowns in these cartoons. I can't believe how the early cartoons were all frowns. I have no idea where he's supposed to look. Nice. All right. Maybe like a riddle. Oh. I don't know. It's not very... It's not right. But, yeah, that's good. Good thinking, Unknown Girl. That's exactly what they did. They just put paid advertising on paper. All right, so the receipts... This is going to be really stark if it's... should I make them a little bit yellow? Or a little bit gray? Yeah, maybe just a little bit more natural, because the only color, or maybe this one a little bluer, something, so they have a little differentiation. I kind of like that blue color better. Then it'll pop the that pink on as well. And I'll put this on another layer so I can make it duller. So it looks like it's, soaked in more. All right, a little bit of that. Oh, and yeah, of course. And then this one would also have some printing on it. Maybe gray though. Let's go really thin and just little. Oops. And make this much lighter. Yeah, maybe barely there. All right, this is a very minimal looking cartoon. Yeah, I wonder if I should do another, like you suggested, another like a crinkled receipt or something. It just doesn't seem to be a heck of a lot going on here. Not shadow, just regular color. So it'll be okay. It's been a while since I've done super minimalist looking cartoon. And then maybe here. And here. Can you see? Yeah, you can't really see it. Like catching that edge, it just makes it livelier. And maybe just because it's brand new, so it's a little bit shiny. And let's see, do we want to do, because it's that heat paper, yeah, maybe it's that paper that's printed with heat, so it is not quite normal paper texture, just for a variety of tones, so it's not all so boring to look at. Oh, nice. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I thought that, yeah, the blue looked nice, unless like because I don't want it to look like dirty and aged, you know, like a yellowed paper from it being so old. So that looks nice. Oh, I've got my brush size super small still. Actually, that works well for shadows because they're so much more sharp than when I use the thick brush. They always get a little goofy. All right, something like that. The cycle started. Cash register would continue to exist. All right. Yeah, that stands out a little bit. Okay, so we've got receipt paper and a watermelon. A watermelon trying to get eye contact with a glass of lemonade. Brilliant. Oh, actually, should I put some sweat on the... No, it's okay. It's not. Or I don't know. Maybe that... Let's see how that reads. A little sweat on the lemonade glass. Just, you know, condensation. So that, you know, he's getting nervous, like trying to find where the eye is. Yeah, I think that looked nice. And then it reads more hot summer too. His sweat is beading up on the glass. Like, who? Where's the eyes? I can't find the eyes. Hello, Will. How's it going? Oh, yeah, just a little summer. Eyes lost in watermelon seeds and receipt paper. Very simple ideas for this week. But yeah, sorry, started really late this week for the stream because the restreaming service that I was using changed that their free tier is just garbage now. And I guess they were the kind of the last of the companies that let you reach like 4 other platforms with a single stream. You could reach 4 different platforms for free. And most companies just 2, and now they finally knocked it down to just 2 for their free tier, like just limiting the convenience of it. But everybody that had been using that for a while, they gave a decent offer. And then it's interesting because there was a deadline, and then they gave you a second offer if you missed the deadline, a little bit worse. But yeah, so I'm going to try their kind of standard paid level and see if I use it appropriately, because it was really cheap. But it gets really expensive. Like a lot of these restreaming programs, you can spend like $150, $200 a month. You can reach a ton of platforms and have really kind of robust output. But yeah, you'd have to be hugely popular to recoup that. Or I guess because you can use one thing for like a whole network, a whole network of streaming. Nice. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Oh, good. Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of live streams I watched recently, people have just had their internet go out. I was going to say civilian. I can't think of a better word, but there's just the, whatever it's called, not commercial, whatever the opposite of commercial is. Non-commercial internet services in America, I think, are getting really bad. The reliability of things in the U.S. are getting really bad. And so if you're not paying specifically for like fiber or something pretty expensive for your internet connection and you're streaming from home, you're going to get interruptions because these services are just garbage. The fiber optic or the cable internet is very unreliable. Yeah, so I'm glad I'm not dealing with that. We do get a little bit of interruption in Japan because of earthquakes and typhoons and things, but usually not from just incompetence, from employee incompetence, which seems to be or bad infrastructure, like poor equipment. That usually doesn't happen here, which is nice, but things are more expensive. All right, well, let's switch over to looking at some, I don't think this is going to work. Looking at some archive. Oh, the other cool thing, though, with this, what I have now with GoComics, Restream, the Restream.io, like the level that I'm at, I can do a custom RTMP, which means I can stream privately directly from OBS to my website, so I don't have to go through any, so that, eliminates all the benefits, the, chat and admin and super chats and everything. But then I can do anything I want, I can, there's not going to be any interruption because of the, YouTube's guidelines or whatever, so I can do private streams. So that might be fun, like maybe Patreon stuff or whatever, to do private streams, because then we could do like movie riffs and stuff. We can like watch movies together and talk over the movie, and you can just watch it on the website, and I won't archive it or anything. Or I guess I can record it locally, but I'm not going to be uploading it to, so you just like do live events. And if it's for patrons and stuff, then you don't need super chats and stuff. So I might try to think of something fun to do with that, because you can do private live streams with that service. Okay, I'm sure the Restream will still like monitor and shut stuff down if they're like streaming pornography or whatever. I'm sure they have some guidelines. But comments, no, the void, the black void of comments. There we go. Yeah, so this just went up. Oh, and it actually got a like already. Is this good? Yeah, there we go. All right, but we are going to eventually get to 2022. But we are in the middle of going through the archive. So, come on. Yeah, so we can do some pretty cool, because I can come up, we find some place in Discord. Oh, that would be good. Yeah, Discord, private stream. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be fun to do just whatever we wanted on a live stream. Yeah, I'll have to go through the restream terms to make sure that, they might just actually pull the plug on something. But if they don't have any real hard guidelines, then that might be pretty cool to do a private stream, like give everybody a Discord link. And because I could just do a post, community post, or just a video that had a link in the description. Just go to the Discord, and then that's the link to the stream. So there's a lot of stuff now that could be. Okay, wait a minute here. Fixes. There we go. Could be fun. Yeah, yeah. Let me figure that out. It'd be fun to interact. Have some extra interaction. All right. So let's go to February 2nd of 2006. All right. So that's where we left off. Here we go. Oh, that's right. Eggs in a bag. Yeah, this is another one of those real monotone, minimalist, early cartoons. Okay, the bag of hard-boiled eggs. Felt time running out. Oh, I think that was a fertility joke. Yeah, I think that's what that was supposed to be. Not funny. All right, February 3rd. Oh yeah, that's right. I previewed the Car Wax cartoon. Now, after waiting a whole week, we will finally read the Car Wax cartoon. The Car Wax could never quite let things just roll off him. So, the water would roll off a car's surface, but not his emotions. Yeah. So that was a pretty common joke where the pun of emotional. Oh, we've seen this one already too. So duct tape, worried about the social implications of his use. So the idea that only, white trash or low, lower income people repair things with duct tape, but you can repair just about anything with duct tape. All right, I better save a little bit of water for those watermelon things. I have no idea how dry or what they're going to be. All right. It was February 4th, so February 5th. The lipstick wasn't quite sure where all this was leading. I don't know, an awkward dating situation or whatever. Yeah, I was just thinking about there was always a kid, I was thinking about elementary school, and when glue sticks were first a thing, and there was always a kid that wanted to just crank it all the way out. And it was very easy because those mechanisms were so cheap. It's just like a threaded, a threaded kind of screw or whatever, like a bolt in the center that's plastic, and then just a little thing holding it on. So the threading is what pushes it up. And once you go past that point, then you'd have to push on the glue stick to get it actually to go back on there so you could retract it. So that's I think where that memory came from, and them looking similar, having a similar position. It was just why, maybe single white female or whatever, why are you imitating me and we're totally not the same sort of thing? I don't know where that came from. It was 2003. It was a different time. 2006. February 6th. Surprisingly, full and empty felt almost the same. So the bottles themselves didn't notice. Yeah, right. And then the glue stick falls out. Yeah, right. You do it too much, and then it will just fall out. Or you have to touch the glue stick and kind of push it back in. Because if you use the cap to push the glue stick back on, then it just sticks. The glue stick attaches to the inside of the cap. And glue sticks. I remember, maybe it was just because I was so small, like a kid. But glue sticks used to feel so gigantic, the diameter of a glue stick and the big cap and everything used to feel like we had, you'd hold it in your fist. It wasn't just a little thing. So glue sticks used to be so much more significant, and then have smells, different smells, and then also characters and stuff on them. And then they started to do the ones that were colored, light blue or light pink, so you could actually see where you were putting the glue. And then I guess the color, when it dried, the color disappeared. Oh, glue sticks. Yeah, so there's no difference between full and empty. February 7th, 2000. The momentary elation soon gave way to despair. Where is this going? Yeah, I always think about that with hang gliding. You know, the base jumping, parachute, and hang gliding type things. It's just like that can just go so wrong, and you just see your death coming. You're just like, if you make some major navigational error or whatever, it's like you just see your death coming. It's like, wait, this is not going to end well. Now I'm gonna be out into the ocean unless I can navigate back around. So that's my fear of hang gliding, I think, is summed up in paper airplanes. February 8th, 2006. 2006. No one understood the uneaten hardship of demonstration food. Yeah, this is definitely post-Japan. Because that's such a crazy culture here is, and I think because Japanese people are just very visual, restaurants will have wax versions, and this is pretty famous, so everyone must know about this. Wax versions of all of their main dishes on the menu in the window. So you have a big display window, and there are wax versions of curry rice and, omelets and everything. And they look pretty good. Like they're shiny where they're supposed to be shiny and flat where they're supposed to be flat, and even like salads and things with dressing on them. So for tourists, because that was so famous, and tourists were noticing that, there's little areas that mostly service restaurants and things that sell like little individual wax foods. So you can buy like a little piece of cake or a little, shrimp sushi or something to bring home as a souvenir of Japan. But yeah, just a wax version of that. So demonstration food. So similar to the, I think I guess they actually put a real piece of something. But when they bring out the dessert tray, I thought sometimes that would be fake. But I think that's just real because that has to change. But a dessert tray or dessert cart or whatever, if they would ever use simulated food, just so you have a representation. And some restaurants put out actual food, like they have their prepared dish and they just put saran wrap over it, but that just like festers and then they have to throw it away every day. But yeah, wax demonstration food is very Japanese. So February 9th, the mouthwash did not understand the appeal of garlic. His arch enemy. There's not even eyes on it. The garlic is so inhuman, it doesn't even have eyes. The appeal of garlic. Yeah, just recently at one of the game nights, the RPG nights, we ordered onion and garlic pizza. It's like, who is this supposed to be punishing? It was surprisingly good, but it was, that's not doing anybody's morning breath any favors. Hey Joe, how's it going? Good to see ya. Super late stream today because of all my technical idiocy. February 10th, 2006. I want to make that a ordinal number. The toothpaste failed to get the attention of the dental floss. They work together, but they never quite connect. The cartoon's a little odd. It's sitting a little high. Yeah, it gets kind of high in the frame and stuff. Things were much looser. Yeah, it's still 2003. Yeah, wow, it's still early days. And this is all of this was drawn before the cartoon was discovered. So this all served to kind of sell the idea eventually. It's funny. February 11th. The little glasses no longer knew what was right way up. All right, so one is upside down and one is sideways, and still the eyes work, so I guess it's fine. All right. Ooh, an inkwell. Yeah, this is I maybe go a little too dark sometimes. When I want to depict black, I should just do dark gray so you can still see the line work. But yeah, sometimes I get a little dark. And the little quill pen. The leaky ink bottle saw not just his mood grow darker, but the desktop as well. Maybe that should have been it should have like gotten over to the pen itself so that you could tell was just seeping out. That must have been an ink. I think it was probably doing some brush ink thing and fucked up. As inspiration, the picture, which wished life would stop already with the lemons. So, yeah, it's just kind of a stupid joke about, when life gives you lemons, make a lemonade. So the picture's just like, okay, enough lemons. I don't want to make any more lemonade. So, yeah, picture. That's so if you don't make that connection, when life gives you lemons, then it doesn't make any sense why a pitcher is like tired of lemons. So that was February 13th. February 14th. There we go. Lunch meat. The bologna felt superior to all other processed meats. It's just one of those random things. The superior bologna. Okay. It was a smiling one too. That's right. One of the few smiling cartoons. The jars with the marker lines felt their use far more acutely. Yeah, so I don't know why. And it's just jars of brine or empty things that are gone. But yeah, I think it's a kind of like a more a take on the liquor bottle. I didn't do liquor bottles, but like, people that are worried about their kids drinking their liquor, mark the level. And what do the kids do? They drink the liquor and then they just add water to get it back up to the same level. So eventually the liquor is very watered down. I don't know what. I guess that would be like a sharing food situation, like a housemate, a roommate situation where you're sharing food and not wanting people to use all of your pickled beet brine. I don't know what the jars don't make a lot of sense. The prequel to Game of Thrones, nice. Yeah. The prequel, the House of the Dragon. Yeah, I watched the first episode. I haven't seen the second one yet, and it's got me kind of back in. It's not as impressive. Like, they didn't hook you with that first episode, and I don't think I'm gonna like the characters switch. The actor changes when they age up. It's good that they did that when they age up the characters. I don't think I'm gonna like that as much because you get attached to those actors, and then you have someone, unless they're really good, the adult version. But it doesn't have a good theme song. That was the thing that, or an opening. That was the thing that was so good about Game of Thrones, is you heard that song and you saw the little, Westeros, clockwork Westeros, like, coming out of the map. That got you all set for the, kind of epic fantasy, fun stuff that they were doing. And this doesn't have that. It's like using variations on that original theme and stuff. The music isn't as epic. So that's the only thing that I noticed right away, that I was like, oh, I want something that every time I hear it every week I get super excited. But yeah, I have to watch the second episode and see. And I'm not sure, because they're going to jump, they're going to jump ahead 10 years or whatever. And so I don't know when that happens, if it happens sooner or later in the season. But so far it's fine. It doesn't, it doesn't have all the problems yet. It doesn't have the problems of the last two seasons of Game of Thrones. And it's an interesting, using just that single house makes it a little more interesting. Oh, okay, cool. Are they going to do it so early? Are we going to lose all those actors right away? Yeah, it's funny. All right. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Yeah, I'll check that out. All right, so February 16th, 2006, the matchbook knew the phone number made him valuable. That's like such a 1950s thing, like getting a phone number from someone and they write it in a matchbook. So if you meet someone in a bar in the 50s or 60s or whatever, probably even up to the 70s, you don't have anything to write on. You can get a pen from the bartender and you can grab the free matchbooks that promote the bar, and then just on the inside of the matchbook write the phone number. So that's a common, and probably in movies and stuff, that was a real common trope. Oh, and the phone number is Jenny 8675309 in the matchbook, dating me horribly. All right, let's try the next one. So February 17th, the Matchbox. Matchbox felt responsible for the loss of every match. That's right, because they strike the match on the side of the box, so you watch the contents of all of your matches burn away. Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I'll definitely watch episode 2. Yeah, I just didn't have time. I didn't want to stay up super late. I had to get up pretty early this morning. I didn't want to stay up too late and be like a zombie today. Especially with all the stuff I had to fix on this streaming, I would have really ruined it. Really done it poorly. Oh, we got a comment too. February 18th, the old radio was now condemned to baseball in the garage. Yeah, the that was a funny old transition, and especially I don't know if is it just me or like some older radios like they stop, or maybe it's because the signal strength and the radio stations and stuff change. So sometimes you get like a station that's not so popular anymore that downgrades their signal output. It's harder to pick up in radio with radios and stuff. But I seem to like have this weird connection with like old radios like losing the ability to pick up signals very well. But I don't think mechanically that's true, or electronically that's true. But yeah, the once a radio gets ugly and old enough, it's like it's the one that goes in the garage when you're working on the car, and because you're touching it with greasy fingers and it looks like shit, so you'll never take it to the beach or anywhere anymore because it just looks terrible. So that was my take on old ugly radio. I've known too many who suffer this indignity. Nice, Maui Mike coming through. And baseball in the radio. That's the one thing that is really cool. It's a fun way to practice like your Japanese listening, and that's a really fun thing to do, is listening to Japanese baseball games on the radio, because they sound really different from American, how they do the games. There's less color commentary. It's more just straightforward, but they get really excited. They want to make it exciting. So yeah, I love like shitty old AM kind of style radio in Japan. It's very unique. It sounds very different, and it's fun to listen to. So sometimes taxis will have old weird radio stations on. So February 19th, the plant mister could do nothing but bear witness to the neglect. So that's a testament to my killing houseplants. Oh yeah, they definitely get excited. So that's the funny thing, is a lot of it a lot of commentary is pretty deadpan, but they go get crazy with big hits or big plays or whatever. That's what's fun about baseball, is it has a real weird dynamic. I think that's why it works on the radio. And length of game doesn't matter or whatever. They just need to fill time on radios. But yeah, it gets very you kind of like soccer. There's like famously announcers for soccer in Europe and stuff, when they yell their goal, or some maybe South America, their goal declarations are famously over the top. All right. So neglect of houseplants. Oh, there we go. This is a really famous sticker. I think I've used it for a couple of other icons and stuff. This drawing I've used a lot. Oh yeah. This was almost one of those perfect cartoons too, because it's a short, simple joke, and nobody has seen it. But I think this joke, one of these kind of jokes, is what got me the syndication gig, because enough of these kind of perfect things. So every slice diminished the loaf. So he just became less and less and less until he was like a heel, a single slice and two heels, twisted, and not even maybe the twist tie is gone, just like knotted the length of the bag. Yeah, so aging and life. So every time you lose a slice, your loaf is diminished. But yeah, that's what I like, when an idea can be condensed down to such a short phrase. And this was one of those first cartoons that really did that. Like also like the Nothing Seemed to Help, the coffee cup and the mixed drink, both with the paper umbrellas. Those were like, I wish I could do every cartoon like that, like a fun visual and then a very concise little thing, because some of the early stuff is very too wordy and too very long-winded. Each slice. So February 21st, 2006. Pain for a sponge was not the absorbing, but the letting go. Yeah, these are getting very emotional and existential. Yeah, so the worst part for the sponge was not soaking up the water, but being having it squeezed out of you. All right. We're going to get through February 22nd. After the splash, the toaster felt relaxed and a little tingly. So this is a toaster suicide joke. Yeah, basically it's supposed to be like a toaster thrown into a bathtub. So like, yeah. So suicide, but the toaster itself has no idea its role in suicide. So it just knows there was a splash and then calm and a little tingly because the electricity is going throughout the water. Just said my dad used to listen to baseball on the radio in the garage while he was fixing a car or something. Yeah, that's like so classic. Like that's like such the image of like grandfather or dad in the garage. His baseball's on because it's summer. Baseball's on, and you know he's got greasy hands from changing spark plugs or whatever, or changing oil or something on a car. When you used to be able to do that kind of stuff, when the cars weren't all plastic cowling and digital access ports for diagnostic computers. All right. Yeah, so a weird smiling suicide joke. 23. March 23rd. He was certain the dry cleaning bag. He was certain that the dry cleaning bag was gone forever. Not quite sure what I'm trying to do here. So yeah, I was trying to think that the wire hanger with the dry cleaning bag. What? It's crackers. So if he was friends with the dry cleaning bag. So the only kind of context I can think of is like always the dry cleaning bags have all of that warning information. Please throw this away. Do not leave it around kids. Because kids put plastic bags on their heads and kill themselves. But that's the only thing I can think of. But I'm not sure. There's no connection at all to crackers or cookies, or I think it's supposed to be like Ritz crackers and a dry cleaner bag. So maybe he just misses the bag. Why is the cracker half eaten? I don't know. He's certain the dry cleaner bag was gone forever. Oh, there's two. There's two periods there. Let me write this one down and do some fixing. 23rd, 2006. Sorry. February. Yeah, I did that a lot because sometimes I'd be working kind of small when I was typing and I couldn't see that there were two periods at the end. So I was just retyping the same sentence, text layer, again and again. February 24th. The magazine box hated blow-in subscription cards. As do we all. Yeah, what was that joke? Oh yeah, that was from Beetlejuice, wasn't it? The father had some. He was going through like the couple that died, and they took over the house. He was going through some like Field and Stream magazine or whatever, and as every page he opens, they just more of those cards just keep falling out. Yeah, and maybe people don't even know that anymore, but that was the thing. I think this was like a new revelation for me, and I don't know why a magazine box cares about it. I guess because maybe they fall out into the magazine box, but they literally do blow those in to magazines. They're like in the print factory. They publish and cut the magazines, and then there's like some mechanism where they stream the magazines by binding away and pages open, and there's an air source, and there's just stacks of these cards, and it just flops open the magazine a little bit, and the cards just like randomly are slotted into whatever page the magazine opens to as it's going by. So yeah, when I learned that that's why they're called blowing cards, because they literally just blow them into magazines, and they're always advertising and subscription and stuff. So reading the magazine just falling on your lap. I bet they don't even do that anymore. So only Maui Mike and I share our disdain. All right, February 25th, 2006. Powerplug was surprised at the violent reaction. So being unhappy, I think I'm. That's like a game rage joke or something. Yeah, some sort of unhappiness with a some sort of electronics that uses that giant transformer plug. Just cut the plug. Yeah, I think that's a needed a little more context, but maybe a game joke. I'm surprised how few things have eyes on them. I guess I just focus on like a main character more in the early stuff because there's a lot of extra little accessories and stuff that aren't alive. So I don't know. There wasn't a methodology. February 26, 2006. The paper cup's new look went unacknowledged. So just torturing paper cups. I think we've already read that one. Yeah, I wonder if they still do that because they may not have. Because that's the thing that magazines have really suffered from is the lack, the drop in circulation. So then the drop in advertisers. So they can't make as much money from. They can't charge as much for advertising. So I think a lot of that stuff has probably disappeared. Just you remember they must still do this though. The scented like the insert page, so it's actually bound into the magazine, but it's like a short half page or like a quarter page insert, and it has a thing that you pull apart and the adhesive smells like a cologne or a perfume. So it's like a sample of a perfume or a cologne, usually in like a fashion magazine or a men's magazine or like lifestyle magazine. But even when it's not pulled apart, you can still kind of smell it. Like the magazine smells a little weird, and then after you've pulled it apart, then the whole magazine just reeks of Calvin Klein, CK1 or whatever they were promoting in the stupid 90s. But yeah, I remember. So you have to like tear them out and throw them away unless you want your magazine to stink like whatever that perfume or cologne was. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah, I had before they were bought out by that Condé Nast, and there was actually some good writing in there. I bought Wired magazine pretty regularly because they had a lot of fun pop culture stuff, and then Hobby Japan. I got imported copies of Hobby Japan in the U.S. and to throw them all away when I left. There was just nowhere to store them. It was hundreds of issues of that stupid magazine. Oh yeah, Maxim. Yeah, right. They would definitely do cologne and stuff. Probably Axe body spray ads in Maxim. Yeah, Maxim. Oh, what happened to all those? I guess those lad magazines are still around, right? That's like that's the British term, but the kind of young men's magazines like Maxim and stuff and all that. But that's what killed Playboy. They took a huge bite out of Playboy's market because you could have Maxim on your table and not make people that visited picture you masturbating. But if it was Playboy, then of course it was like, okay, don't put Playboy on your table, on your coffee table. But I think that's why the success of those magazines, because they could have, pinup style, sexy photography, but it wasn't considered pornography. It was as close as you could get without being pornography. So it was more socially acceptable. So like your dorm room or whatever, you could have Maxim where you couldn't have Playboy because immediately people just thought, of pornography. The Cracker Box felt soulless without the inner bag. The inner bag has left the box, but the bag, yes, I guess the bag isn't a separate entity. A lot of deep philosophical contemplation went into this one. Thank you, Maui Mike, from 9 years ago. Yeah, so the lining bag leaving the body of the Cracker Box. Ay, ay, ay. All right, February 28th. Oh, yeah, the February is a short month. Wax paper felt useless even in the face of stickiness. So things don't stick to wax paper. Yeah, I don't know why wax paper is completely useless. All right, let's see. Do we go? It's not a leap year. Oh, look at this tiny little thing. Hey, Robbie, how's it going? No, no. We still haven't. I haven't done the convenience store, and we haven't written the cartoons yet. We're just going through a month of archives because of the awesome suggestion by K5. So Viagra, we'll do the Viagra joke before we leave. Viagra found most other drug interactions pointless. Okay. A subscription to Viagra. Yeah, so there's only one thing that Viagra needs to do. Isn't that what was Viagra originally? It was like a heart medicine or something. Like they discovered it as a side effect of a medication they were using for blood pressure or something. Amazing. Yeah, there's always so many of those big discoveries were always kind of weird, accidental, side effects or consequences of just testing something. There's a lot of that, like silly putty, and a lot of like funny chemical things that just. And even penicillin came about accidentally. Okay, Viagra. Okay, so we'll start March 1st next time. All right. What's going on here? The window's too short. All right. Yeah, I didn't catch any other typos or anything, just that double period one. All right. Oh, maybe I should wait. Let me get Maui Mike's other. It's a funny comment. A lot of deep philosophical thinking went into this one. All right, so I guess we'll do some writing. And this was 726. All right. So let's get back to it, and then we'll try some watermelon candy. I think it's a candy. I'm not quite sure. Nice. All right. So, still don't know where to put my microphone. Let's. Oh, we don't have to do more drawing. So, yeah, I should show you guys a. Well, I never did that with The Office. I'll just show you guys the setup here sometime, because it must be mysterious that I'm like lifting and pushing things away. But everything's on arms. I have like a desk, and all the monitors are clamped on arms, and then my mic is on a stand on the. So it's just a desk with everything clipped to it, like a little tiny TV studio. All right, so here we go. The joke we're going for here is, where is the eyes? So Lemonade knew quite where to look. So I guess that's as close as we're gonna get. How many eyes, or how many? What's a seed? What are seeds and what are eyes? Is that gonna? Because I tried to pair the seeds up, because I kind of had that the way that they grow inside the melon. They have that kind of grouping. So I tried to pair the seeds up so it looks a little bit like eyes and just makes it kind of disconcerting. Something like that. Lemonade never knew quite where to look. I think that's as close as we're gonna get without. I don't want to say like eyes or whatever. Something like that. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. And then the so life for C, I before E except after C was more of an endless roll than a cycle. So life, the cycle of life, a life cycle. It's just an endless roll. Life for receipt paper was more of an endless roll than. Oh, no, I should okay. Not more of was not a cycle, but is better. But an endless roll. Endless roll of replacement. Life for receipt paper was not a cycle, but more. Was not Life was not a cycle. Cycle of life. Does that make sense? Life for receipt paper. Life was not a cycle, but an endless. Okay, let's move that then. For receipt paper, life was not a cycle, but an endless roll. Does that make sense? Life was not a cycle, but an endless roll of paper, replaced by one replacing the other. For receipt, yeah, receipt paper, right? Yeah, roll of receipt paper. Receipt paper, life was not a cycle, but an endless roll. Okay. The endless roll of receipt paper. They're both contemplating their existence. Okay, I think that works for both. Wow, that was pretty harmless. I guess I had the idea already pretty heavy in my head. It's funny how much easier it is to write after I read a bunch of the old cartoons. Like when I just come in cold and I don't have a tone or a voice or a real strong idea. So if the drawings have a strong idea and then I read a bunch of the old cartoons, I get the tone of the cartoon in my head, and it's easier to reproduce. That's really weird. I never knew that. I never knew that it would have that effect. But K5, you're a genius. You have made my life so much easier. Remember the 30 minutes of and it's even worse. The early writing, it would easily go for like 30, 45 minutes of me just going so what I want to do here is just a bunch of nonsense. All right. Life wasn't a cycle, but an endless roll. Yeah, that totally works. All right. And Lemonade never knew quite where to look. Yeah, it's kind of a joke about like a lazy eye, like someone with a lazy eye. It's like you got to figure out which eye is actually looking at you. So when you're looking back, you're not like off center, because it looks like you're ignoring someone. It looks like you're not trying to talk to them. Always. All right. Knew quite where to look. Yes. Nice. Well, okay, I guess we can get right to the watermelon candy. Damn. Sorry, I didn't need I didn't need so much help. Usually I'm leaning heavy on the chat. I'm just like waiting for Sedona or Yum to like write the cartoon so I was like, I don't know. I don't know anything about this one. But yeah, I think reading the old ones has a really strange effect on my like ability to write in that voice. Yeah, because I didn't really think it was that strong of a voice for this cartoon, but reading, especially the older ones, I might lose it. It might fall away once we get more current. But that old stuff, I did have, like I think I said there was a late night, like a cable late night show that they had a section where they would just show news photographs, like old, photographs from press photos of things, and they would have some funny joke about it, mostly like historical jokes and stuff, and the tone of that I loved so much, and so that was the huge influence on the tone that I wanted for this. Oops, that's not right. And yeah, I should go back and try to find that show and see if it like still hits me that same way, if I like it as much. I might be totally off. All right. And close and no. All right. We'll just open this. I don't do anything in Photoshop anymore except make thumbnails for YouTube and draw this cartoon. That's depressing. Okay. Yeah, so let me just upload these. The melon spray, yes. Nice. Okay, yeah, let me just put the stuff up on Go Comics. Otherwise, I completely forget It's amazing. Like that was my bad habit with the how I was doing the stream before. I'm like, finally, I finished them and they're done, and that's great. I can upload them. Oops, I'm in the wrong cloud. And then I would not upload them to the FTP, so it was just like not doing them because they would be late because I didn't upload them. They were done, just not in the right folder. Okay, wow, I can't believe September 1st and September 6th. That sucks. I guess it's good, though. Getting out of Japanese summer, I'm not going to complain about that anymore. All right, so it's watermelon candy time, I think. Well, this is going to look even worse in my convenience store background, but let's try. I don't know when the chime is done. So welcome to Family Mart. That's the Family Mart. If you, it was written by I think somebody from Panasonic or something. It's a doorbell. It's a default doorbell chime from Sharp or Panasonic that was written in Japan. And of course, the convenience store when they first started just bought that off-the-shelf doorbell and put it by their front door, and it became so identified with Family Mart that I think they bought the rights to it, and so now it's the. If you can still buy that old doorbell, it's funny because when people come into your house, it sounds like a convenience store. Anyhow, today I have it's not keying too bad, but today I have a crazy questionable snack here, but it was the only kind of summer themed thing. So it's suika. So suika is the Japanese word for watermelon. So these are it's these guys here, those little guys. So it's a watermelon candy, I guess. But all it talks about is texture. It's got the horu texture. So I don't know what that is. And yeah, so it just talks about the texture and look of it. And they're calling these little eyes, there's little eyes and a mouth, and they're calling them chocolate chips on the back. Oh yeah, here's the back. So here, see, I identified the little parts on this little chart here. A little graphic, and yeah, they're calling it chocolate chips. So if it is chocolate and it is watermelon flavor, this could go horribly wrong. But it is Fujiya. So Fujiya is a pretty famous like cake shop, and it was a restaurant for a while. But a pretty famous cake shop in Japan. A lot of people buy their very too sweet, but kind of made for kids cakes, strawberry shortcakes at Fujiya. I'm not sure like what their most famous thing is. They've made some candies, like I think the milky candy is a Fujiya candy. So here is a watermelon candy that could actually be a cake or a cookie. I don't know. It was in the candy section. It was in the hard candy section. But sometimes in convenience stores they just like kind of don't know what something is. Just like oh boy, and they just throw them wherever. Oh no, this is going to be watermelon and chocolate. It smells very much like watermelon. Oh no, watermelon and chocolate. Why? Oh, why? Okay, so it's kind of like the texture is already kind of like a Calorie Mate or one of those like, those calorie replacement bars. It's very dry. Yeah, it's just like, it's like one of those protein bars or whatever. But it smells so much like watermelon. And I think those little dots, and they didn't do, yeah, it's just a chocolate chip kind of thing. So they called them chocolate chips, and they showed them as like eyes on the package. But yeah, they're just like randomly. So chocolate chip watermelon. Here we go. Oh, it is chocolate. It is chocolate. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, it's a cookie. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, this is horrible. Oh my god. It's like like astronaut ice cream or like freeze-dried oh, yuck. Freeze-dried strawberries. Oh, it's so terrible. It tastes like really old watermelon because it would need like it would need like a gummy or something to have a fresher taste. Oh, this is terrible. I thought for sure Fujiya could pull this off. Holy crap. Why chocolate chips in watermelon? So, it's baked though. You can see there's a little brown part on it. So it's some sort of cookie thing that's baked. So they just put chocolate chips, literally chocolate chips in watermelon. That doesn't make any sense at all because it doesn't. So a lot of times the candies and things, or even cookies, will try to simulate what they're flavored like. Like I showed you the snow cone little chocolates that I thought were gummies originally. Or a lot of gummies that simulate fruit. So they'll have like two textures where it feels like you're biting through skin, and then there's like a softer, like, grape, it like simulates a grape. Or like an orange, a section of an orange. This is not simulating watermelon at all. It's just it's a real powdery consistency. The like when you bite into which I guess that's what they're trying to the biting into, but it's not wet, so it feels very bizarre. Very old watermelon. But it's chocolate. Watermelon and chocolate. That's two flavors that should never be anywhere near each other. They're horrible. Yeah, it doesn't get better. This is really, Fujiya, I can't believe you did this. Yeah, that's a little, oh, wow. The texture is terrible. The flavor combination is the worst. It's so stupid. Yeah, it's a cookie. I guess that's what horo horo is. Okay. Well, that's one of the worst ones in a while, because in the cookie the juice or whatever they're using for the watermelon flavor is not very evenly distributed, so you get like these like bursts of watermelon flavor, and it's just chocolate. That's so bizarre. Okay. Well, what a nightmare. It doesn't even have little faces. The main reason I bought it is because it looked like my cartoon, right? It had little eyes on it. So I thought that'd be cute. But it's just a chocolate chip. So imagine one of those chocolate chip like energy bars or calorie replacement bars that was watermelon flavored. Usually they're maple or whatever with chocolate chips in it. Oh, okay. So unless you really think that sounds amazing, that flavor combination, stay away from the sweet guy. Yasata. That's a phrase. Yeah, I'm sure that's a phrase I should know. Yachata. Yachata. Yeah. I'll have to ask my wife what that is. Yachata. Suika. Oof. Mecha mazui. Very disgusting. Okay, so a complete failure. I thought it was going to be at least cute. Oh, that was brutal. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's get out of this store. Oh my god. Oof. Wow, that I didn't. There's no. I'm not even like compelled to even try that one more time. That was really bad. So we had that before too, didn't we? Have like a chocolate. Oh yeah, it was like consomme and a chocolate cookie flavor. There's some really weird. How does that get out of one of those kitchens? Yeah, the packaging was so cute, and like the little the little face on there. It's like, oh, if they did that, if they intentionally put like little dots, and I thought it would just be like food coloring or something to simulate the seeds, but it's actually chocolate chips. Oof. Yeah, so I'll get back to you next week. I'm gonna demand my money back. Oh my god. Well, it made content, so I guess I can't complain too hard, but oof. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, so that is just like those chicken soup flavored chocolate cookies. It's like, well, how did you just accidentally mash those two flavors up? In Japan, it's usually much better than that. They go for a flavor, that they're going for something when they do a weird combination. You're like, oh, okay, salty and chocolatey. That's pretty good. Like a lot of chocolate covered potato chips and stuff. Like there's some things that complement each other, but oof, they're getting a little too experimental. There's no way that anyone ate more than one or two of those. That's just brutal. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna send the company my link to my live stream and say, look what you did. Look at the pain and suffering I had to endure. Got to get one of those international lawyers that's like sues foreign companies American style. Ugh. Wow, that's really stupid. The combination is bizarre because it's it's like a weird powdery cookie with, obviously it's in, they always use the most, I mean, Japanese companies, not the foreign companies, use like juices and stuff to flavor stuff. So it's definitely like watermelon juice, which already doesn't really taste like watermelon so much. It's like very old, dry watermelon, and combining that with chocolate chips. Who thought that should leave a an experimental company kitchen there? Yikes! Their R&D has failed. That's really, I have to remember the yaichata. What does that mean? I've heard that phrase before, but it doesn't. Yaichata is League of Legends uses it. Oh, is it? Oh, it's so funny. You can type almost any. A lot of the search engines, the Japanese search engines, are really good working as electronic dictionaries, because you just type a Japanese word and then English, and it didn't just. It means, oh well. It's yaichata, not yachata. I don't know. Oh no, it's a different phrase. I'm not looking up the right phrase. Because oh, that is great. Okay. Oh, okay. This is it. Meaning in English. That's the right phrase. And it doesn't have a translation. Oh, ooh. Yeah, no. Oh, no. That's wrong too. That's wrong too. I have to find out what exactly that means, because I did it again, or that's great. That cannot be the meaning. It's got to be like, good luck trying to eat that. Yeah, yaichata. Okay, Chinese. It's a no. So yeah, it must be some kind of slang, because there's like restaurants, like a beer, ebisu, kind of pubs and stuff. Like izakayas named yaichata. What does it mean? Oh, gross. It means two things that should never be together. I know I've heard it before, but I don't think I've ever asked what it means. So it's just context. It sounds like a slang. All right, but anyhow. Oh, okay. Well, let me ask. Let me see. I've got a resource here. Sorry, I'm texting. All right. So maybe we'll have an answer. Maybe not. If someone wants a ride, they're gonna have to give me an answer. All right. Wow. So yeah, I guess that's gonna do it. Wow, that was a really bad convenience store segment. So sorry to anyone that had to sit through that. That was brutal. Oh, come on. I need an answer before I end the stream. Yikes. Sorry, I can't get a response. Okay, so I got all the technical stuff worked out with the weird restream thing, so I shouldn't have that problem before. So thanks for watching, and sorry about the real misguided snack there. So abusecartoons.com if you're watching for the first time. GoComics.com/domestic abuse is the archive of all the old cartoons, and I'm working to figure out how I will print the book now for the 20th anniversary, and also do like a second edition of the first collection. So maybe I'll do like I don't know. Is it better to do a nicer version, like do a hardcover version of that collection, and do a new essay or something in it. I don't know. I got a lot of decisions. My hands being forced. But yeah, I will be back again next week. So thanks so much. And Unknown Girl, thank you so much. I hope I kept your your night at least entertaining. But watermelon and chocolate should never be in the same snack. We've decided that. A hardcover, yeah. So I'll take a look at hardcover. And because you bought the first one, I'll definitely get you a. If I do a new version of it, I don't want you to have to buy it again. I'll send you a version. I appreciate you supporting me so much by ordering the previous version, and it's a bit of a collector's item because they're not going to make them any longer. So only what's in inventory, like in warehouses, is going to be available. So thanks so much, and yeah, we'll see you next week with some more snacks and some more everything. And come on, what does it mean? The internet won't tell me. None of my family members will tell me. No one will tell me. So next week I'll let you know what yaichata means. Anyhow, it means don't eat. Do not eat this. So take care, and we'll be back again next week. So Abuse Cartoons on all social media and patreon.com/abusecartoons. See you next time. Goodbye.